Okay, so we're going to be talking about today is the force of the yetzer and the effect of the Torah upon it. V'ita b'gemara, zar yetzer v'azvicha hulit bonen tamid machshavotav v'hanagatav l'argiz alav. So the yetzer is called a viper. Okay, and the Gemara says that the viper is the yetzer and it'll be slaughtered in the end, as is stated in the prophetic text from which the word viper is taken. And the way that it's slaughtered is by using your mind to confront it. The way of the yetzer is to disguise a sin so it doesn't feel like a sin at all. So I'm going to give you an example of what I mean. Okay, you have 3 girls sharing a room. 2 of the girls, this is a true story, 2 of the girls were friends from before and have a good relationship. Of these 2 friends, one of them is a very quiet, refined girl, think South Africa, and the other is a girl who's, shall we say, more self-assertive, think of Brooklyn. But they're good friends. A 3rd girl enters the room. The 3rd girl is a girl who's somewhat self-absorbed, and she fixed it. She realized the very first day that these 2 are a pair and that she's the 3rd leg. So her friends are not the girls in the 2 rooms. She has other friends. So she'll hang out at her other friends' rooms until late at night. Then when she comes in to go to bed, she turns on the light. She isn't careful not to make noise when she gets undressed. And the other 2 girls find it extremely annoying. So girl number 1, the South African, says, I find it terribly distressing when you open the light after we've gone to sleep. Would you mind next time just coming in more quietly or earlier? Okay, that's how she says it. Now I'll translate this to Brooklyn. Shut the light! Okay, can't you see we're sleeping? Okay. Now, as I said, the 3rd girl is somewhat self-absorbed. So she says, oh, I'm sorry. And she gets undressed quickly, turns out the light, but this is what she does every night. Okay, so they spoke to the house mother, and the house mother said she'd take care of it. What she did or didn't do, I don't know, but nothing changed. They spoke to the rabbi, and the rabbi told the girl the Neve rule, okay, which is a rule that's very good for the girls, which is the person who complains is the one who has to leave, because our goal is to get people to learn how to deal with almost any situation. Okay, so what's her way of dealing? This was not the response the rabbi had hoped for. He had hoped for greater understanding, maybe a little bit of vatranut, maybe a little vatranut begats a little vatranut, whatever. But this isn't what happened. Our friend from Brooklyn decides, well, if she's making me miserable, then I should make her miserable, then she'll have to leave the room. Why should I have to leave the room? Especially if there's not another room for me and Sheila. I don't have to separate from Sheila just because she entered the room, right? So she makes her miserable. Okay, now, here's the part of the story that's complex. She's not a bad girl at all. She's a very good-hearted girl. She's a girl who'll do favors for people. She's a girl who, even to some degree, be moser nefesh for other people. But her inner vocabulary isn't calling what she's doing to the 3rd girl's sin. And this is the way the yetzer works. So you have to really know Torah. What are permitted responses? Where actually is the line? How far are you allowed to go? What's permitted to say and what isn't permitted to say? What's permitted to do and what isn't permitted to do? If the person was able to look at the yetzer and see that following the yetzer, to use the words that are actually here, takes you out of reality. So let's go back to this room scene. How is this taking her out of reality? When she figures, her plans how to make the girl miserable, to purposely exclude her, to make plans for Shabbos with the other friend in front of her, dafka, Is she becoming the person she wants to be? Is she becoming the person she came to Nevei with a great deal of Mesiras Nefesh to become? No. But she's so lost because the yetzer hara didn't use the word sin, but she isn't noticing the process. Ruach tzfonit eno misoveves, v'hu pritza asher mitzafon, v'yetzera tzafon b'libo shel adam, שבזה מוצא פתח פתוח לחטא, ליוצר לסוברו, שאין בזה עוון אשר חטא. Says the yetzer hara is like a three-sided room where one side is always opened. The yetzer hara always gets into that side, the side where nothing is so defined, where nothing could be called sin.